Do you need a little more adventure in your life? Of course you do, we all do. But figuring out the best way to experience new places can be pretty difficult on your own. And you probably don't have time to make that happen anyway. That's why I trust Travel with Nikki when my wife and I are looking for new places to explore. Whether your ideal adventure includes hiking through jungles and tubing through caves, two things we actually did on one of our last trips, or if the adventure you're thinking of includes a little more rest and relaxation, maybe in a tropical paradise, Nikki can help you find it. My wife and I have worked with Nikki many times, and she has always been able to craft the perfect trip for us and whoever else is traveling with us. On a recent family cruise, she was able to find us some great excursions that were accessible to all of us, even those with mobility issues. And these were way better than anything offered by the cruise line. Nikki really got to know what my wife and I are looking for on our vacations, and that's what makes our trips so memorable. They're exactly what we're looking for. Nikki specializes in theme parks, all-inclusives, Hawaii and island explorations, but she can help get you organized for whatever type of travel you want. If adventure is calling your name, you can contact her through email. Her address is nikki@travelwithnikki.com, and Nikki is Nikki. You can also head to her website, travelwithnikki.com, to see how she can design a stress-free vacation for you. When you do, make sure to tell her who sent you. And now, on with the show. Some people really love summer, especially teachers. Others love the winter holiday season. Still others enjoy a brisk fall weekend. I'm guessing, though, unless it's when your birthday falls, you probably aren't overly excited about September. Me too. And yes, I do know that the title of this episode shares its name with a Green Day song, but I don't think you'll find too much in common between the two. This is Lessons We Forgot, and this week's episode is called Wake Me Up When September Ends. I love my job. I really do. But I'm not going to lie. September is my least favorite time of the year. This is probably due to constantly being around people who I don't know yet and who I don't understand. By the way, this is literal nightmare fuel for introverts like me. So when students do something unexpected, I can't quite figure out if it's because they don't understand the expectations I'm trying to establish or if they're just being difficult. Should I laugh at my students' questionable jokes, or is it time to have another serious conversation about procedures and appropriate behavior? When parents send me emails explaining how their child is unique and special, which I really do appreciate because it helps me connect with their kids, I'm often tempted to send reply emails back to them explaining the many ways in which I am also unique and special. I mean, that would totally help them, right? Mostly, though, I wish we could just skip this phase of the school year and jump to mid-October, when we know each other well enough to joke around, to let our guards down, and to finally be ourselves. Until then, I'll take the advice of Marcus Aurelius. Yes, I know it's still very early in the school year and I'm already quoting dead Romans, but hear me out on this one. He said, "We don't control what happens to us. We only control how we respond. Every situation is a chance to respond in a noble way." So, when we're confronted with a student who is clearly testing our limits, or a parent who is trying to game the system, the best course of action will always be to take the high road and to be the best versions of ourselves we can be. For me, that means I may not come out on top of every interaction with a student or a parent. But is that really all that important? When October finally gets here, I don't think my students or their parents will be all that impressed by seeing me win every exchange or by putting everyone in their place. No, they'll probably be much happier seeing a teacher in front of them who is genuine, caring, and willing to do whatever it takes for the good of the class. So, don't sleepwalk through September. You won't get another chance to make a first impression. And you won't be able to solve every problem this early in the year. In fact, you don't even know all of the problems you're going to have to address right now. But you don't need to wait. You can let your students see the real you right now, the one that they will be relying on for the rest of the year. When you let them see what you're all about, they'll be much more likely to return the favor. September will probably never be my favorite month of the year, but by controlling how I respond to every situation, I'm giving myself a chance to respond in a noble way and to open the door for connections, even if it doesn't actually happen until a little later in the school year. Thank you for listening to this episode of Lessons We Forgot. I'm the host, Chris Winkle. You can contact me at lessonsweforgot@gmail.com, and please do. I'd love to hear what you think about the show and any suggestions you might have. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend. That is the best way to help grow the podcast. If you want to hear more Lessons We Forgot, we post new episodes on Sunday nights. And when you like, rate, and subscribe to the show or leave a comment, that also helps the show reach new listeners. If you really hate ads like me, I do have a Patreon site, patreon.com/lessonsweforgot. For only $1 a month, you can get the show without ads. I'm offering a free trial right now, so go check it out and see if it's something you'd be interested in. Thanks again for your support.